Hi, today I want to talk about frequency and what frequencies are and how you should be using them, what you need to know. I did a video on this already, but I wanted to make sure that people understand. I'm getting a lot of questions, and this is a fundamental universal science that you really need to understand, and I'm more than happy to tell you about because it's what I wrote my book on, so I actually know about this. Frequencies. Everything in the universe is energy. All energy moves in a wave. All waves vibrate at a certain frequency. That frequency is a thumbprint of God's energy. So, when you meet somebody and you have a yucky feeling about them, what you are picking up is their low frequency. Conversely, when you meet somebody or something that fills you with joy, or when you meet them you're like, this person's cool, I just like them, what you're reading is their frequency, and what you're picking up is that they have a high frequency. So that's the basics of that. Frequency, however, can also be Frequency can be simply summed up as how much love a wave is holding. Love is the highest frequency. Love's the highest frequency. It's the frequency of God. So it's the frequency we all share. And it's why love, when you apply love, it works like a miracle. It can fix anything. Like even the worst fights, if you truly come to somebody with love, you'll dissolve them. You'll completely dissolve them back into love. Because at our center, we all are love. It's the same thing with dark energy, by the way. Like a lot of people have had experiences with ghosts, or they're afraid that if somebody, a spirit contacts them, it might be a negative energy. And you can always get rid of any dark energy simply by reminding them they're part of God. So, for instance, say you ran into a ghost someplace and you were scared. You'd simply say, this is what you would do. You'd say, I'm surrounding myself with divine light at this moment. I'm asking you to remember that you're God and that you're loved by God and that you need to leave right now. So I always remind them they're God, and then I tell them I want them to go, because I really don't care to hang around ghosts or anything myself, and most people don't either unless it's somebody you're particularly wanting to talk to for some reason. So, frequencies. Back to frequencies. What happens when you raise in frequency is that things get better, exponentially. So if you raise in frequency and you bring more love into your life, you'll also be attracting, due to the law of affinity. Again, this is the secret, which they brought up about the secret. And the truth is that all keepers of magic have known this through the centuries, that this is how we create in this three-dimensional world. You create by sending out a frequency which then attracts the like frequency in the form of the manifestation that you want. Now, some of us are better at that than others, and sometimes we're better at it than we are at other times. Now you'll notice, like, you ever think about that, like, oh, I wish blah 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 or something, and then you'll come home and like, oh, I wish I had flowers. You'll come home and there'll be flowers there, or some kind of coincidence like that. Well, that's when you're automatically creating. We're creating with no resistance. And that's how it will be as we become more powerful, as we end this Mayan calendar shift and we're growing in this consciousness and our own power. You'll start seeing manifestations created quicker and quicker. Now this is great if you're creating good things. Really bad if you're creating bad things. So this is where it's very important. I want everybody to really understand, so you get a hold of your frequency. Because if you don't get a hold of your frequency, you're going to be a victim. If you're in a high frequency, you have a natural invincibility about you, because by the law of affinity or law of attraction, you can only draw things to you that are of like frequency. So you're going to run into good things happening to you. New jobs, new boyfriends. Oh, what? You won the lottery? Great. These are the kind of things. Oh, you're losing weight. All those things come with, like, when you're in a high frequency, you don't have to worry about dieting because you can't hold on to weight because it's not harmonious. Because we're all born divinely perfect, just like the jaguar, just like the jaguar. And anytime we choose, we can remember that we're born perfect. So if we don't like our body, if it's too fat or lumpy or whatever, it's in our power at any moment to return to our divine selves, because that's our natural key point standing. We're meant to be divine. Divinity is mostly what we are. So if we're not in our harmonious divine state, then we're out of tune. And we need to just get out of the way. Because mostly if you just get out of the way and stop dieting or torturing your body with exercise and just say, you know what, body? I'm going to let you go back to your divine self, and I'm just going to get out of the way. And you get out of the way, your body will eventually go back to that place. Because why? It's the best place for it to be. As we move toward the end of the calendar, as I said, and we start manifesting more and more things more quickly, if we have not gotten ourselves out of fear, anger, hopelessness, we will start to manifest these things at a quicker rate. And it's very difficult. Let me tell you, the reason I'm telling you this now is once you're in a low frequency, if you've ever been there, it's very difficult to get out. It's like being stuck in quicksand, and you have to claw yourself out with discipline and really work at it. Whereas if you stop yourself from going lower to begin with, it's much easier to go up higher. So you want to catch yourself before you get so low you can't even help yourself. Okay? So this is where I want to say, please be very careful about what you're putting in your body, as far as what you're watching on YouTube, what you're watching on TV, what kind of people you're hanging out with, and what kind of things you're putting in your body. I'm not going to get all preachy about it because I drink wine. I do things that a lot of people that are considered spiritual would say to me, well, you got to be pure. Well, maybe you do, but I don't, because I create my world, and in my world, if I want to drink some wine with my dinner, that's just going to be better for me. If somebody wants to create that it's going to dim their awareness, then go create that if you want to, but don't tell me what to create. And the same thing going on with YouTube. Be very careful, please, about what you believe, and what you let be created in your mind is what's going to happen, because that will happen to you if you believe it, because you are co-creating by tuning into that energy and syncing up with it.